back to Adelaide Eternal October Legacy Challenge. This is round 4. Right now we have Sarven on the left on Grixis control and myself on the right on Blue-Black Death Shadow. Today I'm joined in the booth with Beckett.
G'day guys.
Alrighty, so this is pretty interesting matchup. Me and Sarven did actually jam a lot of games day before this one, so I know it's been pretty tight whenever we've been in playtesting.
Well, do you want to talk about your list and I can talk about Sarv's list because I'm basically on the same list as Sarv.
Yeah, sure. Alright, so we'll just bring up my list now.
You're on Blue-Black Death Shadow.
Blue-Black Death Shadow.
And it's got those sweet reanimates in it.
Yep. It's got the dream of the reanimate into turn 1 Street Wraith. I was able to pull it off a few times in the tournament, but unfortunately not every game. So it's a pretty stock standard build. Recently upticked to 2 Bitter Blossom in the sideboard, which has just been actually really good. It's really helped with a lot.
There's a lot of Bitter Blossoms rolling around in Legacy now.
Yeah,
I find it so interesting. I mean, it's like a Blue-Black template list. It's really interesting that these decks came out straight after the Probe ban, because Probe's obviously like quite a good card in the deck.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a deck before Probe, and then Probe gets banned, and now suddenly it's a deck. The same thing happened in Modern.
Yeah, super strange, isn't it? You thought Probe was going to really hurt in Modern, like Storm and even sort of Death Shadow, and they both seem to get better, if anything.
Yeah.
So
Sarv's list is based off Reed Duke's Legacy list. Reed Duke crushed some tournaments with it online. Sarv and I studied it. Sarv just said, "Hey Beckett, you should play this," and I did. And I've had a lot of success with the deck as well. To be honest, as much as it seems like a control deck, it's only actually got 4 Force of Wills, and those get sided out a lot. I side them out basically unless I'm playing combo.
Yeah.
So people play like around counter spells a lot, and it just doesn't have counter spells. So I treat it more like a mid-range deck, and you can get a huge amount of value of Colligan's Command, which I think is like Colligan's and Lily is like a big function of the deck with the Snappy, because you can like get Snappy back, like return Snappy, do something, and then snap Colligan's, return another Snappy, do something, and in the late game you can just sort of keep doing that. It's not an endless thing because eventually they'll get flashback exiled, but you just generate a huge amount of card advantage.
Yeah.
It's got a low amount of threats with Sarv's running Gurmag, True Name, I run Gurmag, so it's only got like 2 sort of real finishes, and then Lily and 3 Planeswalkers in Jace. The Jace, pretty grindy, slow finisher, but should we get down to the game?
Sounds good. All right, we're just cutting now. I'm going to do the dice roll.
The thing about, so I'm running like main board Red Elemental Blast, and there's a few other random things, like 3 Jace seems like a lot, but keep in mind this deck has, with the 3 Jace and 4 Brainstorm and 4 Ponder, it's got a huge amount of ways to get rid of cards you don't need.
Yeah.
So for me, when I was playing it, the Red Elemental Blast being in the main deck against non-blue decks was literally never been a problem.
Yeah.
That's a sweet hand from Sarv. He's got turn 1 Thoughtseize, spot removal,
Very
bit
good.
of value in Snappy, and a finisher. Gurmag, probably don't want to see it in the opener, but
yeah,
bit quick there, but Force Dismember from you. Dismember probably
Dismember's
going to be used on a Gurmag eventually. But
yeah, one day. So, all right, so...
Sarv knows what you're on, though, right? So he's playing around Wastelands and such.
Yeah, it's always funny. Force of Willing at Thoughtseize feels so average. So obviously I don't. It's a bit of a clunky hand.
Here. It's not a great hand. You don't want to take Street Wraith and then you just reanimate. And I think I don't care about Dismember because if you're dismembering a Gurmag, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, you take Street Wraith. Yep. So, yep.
That's an interesting one. I think it makes sense. It's the best card in the hand. Yeah. But he hasn't decided yet. It's the best card in the hand. Yeah. I think it's just not worth the risk if you hit reanimate.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going
to substituting with it. He's slow rolling us.
Yeah. He's keeping us in suspense. I think he's telling me what he should take and what he shouldn't take.
I remember when I first played against this deck, and my opponent was like Fetch, Shock, Water Grave, and I was like, oh, okay, they're just like playing a budget list.
Yeah.
This will be a walkover.
Yeah. Well, and
then they go like Thoughtseize, and I'm like, all right, down to 15. I'm not playing aggro, but sure. And then, I don't know, they had a Dismember, and I was like, yep, down to 11. No worries. you can keep paying life. Street Wraith down to 9, fine. And then the Death Shadow came. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I think this deck was at its best when it was a bit unexpected, and no one was preparing for it. Look, Sword Splasher decks really suck, but
I assume you play it like a tempo deck?
Yeah. And it plays that similar to like Grixis Delver. So.
See, I don't think I'd be very good at playing the deck because I really struggle with when to shock.
Yeah.
Like managing and balancing the life total, particularly against aggro decks, is really hard.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously instinctually shocked there.
Yeah.
Knowing that getting your life total down is something you need to do and is difficult to do without the shocks. Is that why?
Yeah, so it took a lot of play testing. There was a whole bunch of times where I'm like, okay, well, I haven't got a shadow or anything right now. Maybe I'll be conservative with my life total. And then later on you draw the shadow and you're stuck on like 15.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
also like Reanimate's another big one.
Reanimate takes so much life off you.
Yeah, for a Street Wraith or something.
Yeah.
But I also really like Reanimating the deck to get back Death Shadow. It only costs 1 life, 1 mana, and you can get back like, a 5/5 or a 6/6 or something like that, or 10/10.
It's sort of inbuilt hate against Reanimator players, right? You steal that Crystal Prayer.
It's true. Well,
seems good.
I devised a blue-black Reanimate splashing for Death Shadow. This is like Death Shadow splashing Reanimate.
That deck was
and I had Reanimate splashing Death Shadow,
and
it was for the same logic that often you've got a glut of Reanimates in hand, you've got your Grizzlebrands in the bin, your deck's doing what it's supposed to do, but you just don't have the life to reanimate it, and being able to entomb a Death Shadow and only pay 1 life and still get like a big boy out was really important. So if you're playing blue-black Reanimate or any sort of Reanimate, I recommend trying out 1 Death Shadow in the deck. Give it a crack. There's a lot of ways you can lose your life. I think I just ran like 1 Watery Grave to fetch shock and a Thoughtseize as well, and I got there. So we're seeing Snap Thoughtseize. I like that. I like being very proactive with my snaps, and I think you're dazing the Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
So I think Sarv's got to be pretty happy about that. He gets his value out of Snap.
Yep.
He gets a little guy which is either going to do damage and make your deck tough because you've got a lot of ways you burn your life.
Yep.
So it's going to be tough for you to...
So yeah, Brainstorm was a really sweet draw because I had a lot of cards that were just a bit, just not really feeling it. So
especially after you bounce that land back.
Exactly, yeah. Daze is so good in the deck. Like pay the life again. Like,
do you find that, like even in this matchup, it's not an aggro matchup where there's like just a snap pressuring you, that can make it. You get to a life total like 5 or 6. Where now your deck doesn't function because... Do you run Snuff out?
I used to, but I don't anymore. I run Fatal Push.
There's a lot of ways that you lose life. Do you find like sometimes you've got a glut of like Street Wraiths and Dismembers and Thoughtseizers and Shocks, and you just like... You're at the life total you want to be at, which is, maybe 7 or 8, I'm not sure. And then your cards aren't that strong because you don't have the life.
Yeah, so obviously Reanimate and Street Wraith get worse as, the life total gets lower. So Reanimate especially is one you draw it late game and it's a bit like
Street's so strong against you.
It is good. It's really, really good.
Although I got done, I was playing at the GP and I didn't realise Street Wraith has Swamp Walk.
Yep.
I don't think I'd ever played against like a resolved Street Wraith. It's always just been like a cycler.
It gets you
in Dredge or something.
It's actually really good.
And I didn't calculate it, and I lost to it with just getting in for 3 every time because I thought I was fine with. I had Gurmag and Strix and all this, and thought I was fine for blocks. But
so Sarven just revealed, I think it was a push and a Gurmag. So I brainstorm again. From memory, I think I'm just hunting for something like just a threat will do. I remember I was humming and ahhing about like something like
you had Delvers in this, right?
Yeah, definitely. So Delver's obviously not bad right now. Obviously, push isn't great, but would love to, get maybe like a Gurmag or something, but I can't remember what I play. Oh, there we go. Shadow, so he's a 5/5.
Do you just assume that your first Shadow is basically always going to die
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I mean, I guess it depends what you're playing against. But
dies to what?
Dies to a push or even just a Strix.
Yeah.
And you just got to get through it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can do some, like, you know, the obvious one, like, I think why a lot of people doubted the archetype was just swords. Just because, you know, if you have one or two shadows, swords one, the other one dies.
Mind you, the same logic applies to, you know, Delver decks with, I guess Pyromancer is not the same, but, you know, Delver's an absolute mainstay of Legacy and a powerhouse. The bug Delver decks is the best example, where you got 4 Delvers, 4 Goyfs. There's the same logic there, right?
Yeah.
They all die to swords and push
pretty
easily.
But you get the 2 for 1 because you gain the life back, and you don't want to gain the life, and that's the life.
Right.
That's the real bad bit. It's really bad.
Is it bad?
Well,
See me, I'm not a natural Death Shadow player, so I'm sitting there being like, gain the life back.
Because sometimes, basically a deck like Grixis is always going to outvalue you, right? So if they put you to maybe back to 13 and you can't play your shadows for a while, eventually they're just going to start playing Jaces and stuff, whereas I'm stuck with, like, you know, Street Wraiths.
Yeah,
so,
this Grixis is 3 Jaces.
3 Jaces.
And again, it's not an issue, because if you've got 3 Jaces in your hand, you can just brainstorm the other 2 away.
Yep.
So it's just like, it's just like a non-issue in the deck. It's really interesting. When I first saw it, I was like, 3 Jaces is way too many. But it's so good against the control mirror.
Sarven with the red hot hand of the 2 dual lands. Can't remember what I'm really looking for. Obviously, another shadow would be great, but
yeah, I think you probably want shadows, right? And Reanimate's not going to do it here because he died of Strix. I reckon it's just shadows.
Yep.
All day.
I had one game earlier in the day where I had like all 4 shadows out.
Ooh.
Yeah, cycling Street Wraith.
Did you win it?
So yeah, just a little bit.
I see a Delver in there, so
yep.
Okay.
So
I don't think Wasteland's great here, but
you
get rid of his
took him off red.
That's
so.
right. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially since you don't know his hand.
I actually had a really great game against James Arthur, where that was a bit of a silly swing. I obviously have something else. Okay. Might be a bit loose because obviously the attack back would get me to 0.
Yeah,
I believe that's a 6.
Perhaps.
But,
that's fair.
2. Yep. All right. That was obviously what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, it's like you say, you need to get in there, I think, because
Yeah.
you need to present the lethal. You know, he's going to run away with the game with a Jace. In fact, Jace here is pretty strong, right?
Yeah, no thanks.
And what would you do? Unsummon the Death Shadow?
Unsummon Shadows. Ooh, swinging with both is risky, right? Because I could just attack potentially for lethal if I draw some damage, life loss things. So
you'd need to draw. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's a 13-13. You need to take yourself down to 2.
Dismember would be great.
I feel like if you can get rid of 1 Death Shadow and Alpha Strike, then you're forced to block Delver on Gurmag.
Yep.
And then you've just got 1 Death Shadow and you probably can't lethal back, right?
Yep.
So then it's just a standoff with Gurmag and Death Shadow, and Strix can keep getting in there.
Yeah, it's interesting maths because, like, you know, obviously Gurmag attacking and I don't block, right? Suddenly my Death Shadows are 12 dwells.
Well, it's really annoying with bolts. Like when the Death Shadow swing is like a 2/2 and you've got bolt in hand, you want to bolt it, but then if they go like dismember in response or like cycle Street Wraith or just fetch shock in response, then you're like, it's actually a 5/5.
Yeah.
And it gets really complicated. Like, but if you fetch shocks, then I can like swing back. But so do I bolt it? So then do I want to save the bolt for his face? But then I can't bolt the face because then he's not going to do the fetch shock.
Yeah.
It gets real complicated. I hate it. And I don't know how many instant speed life losses you have in the deck as well. I guess it's just 4 Street Wraiths.
4 Street Wraiths. You know what's funny? Sometimes like Force of Will paying a 1 is actually relevant.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why this deck has been quite
the gotcha factor.
Well sort of received from a lot of the pro players like LSV and that sort of thing, just because they're at that sort of skill where they can factor in all the, like, you know, the life loss and, you know, the meta game of lightning bolts and swords to plowshares and stuff.
Did LSV design this deck? It was his team.
I don't think so, but there was like this one tournament where
they took it to the next level though.
Yeah. Suddenly there was like all of them playing it and it did really well.
Yeah.
It really put the deck on the map, I think. So, all right. So what? Obviously, Dismember's just like so good right now.
Is it in your hand? Did we see what you drew?
I didn't reveal it. No, I don't
No.
think so.
And we don't know what Sarv's got. Maybe he might have Force of Will or Hard
I
Cast.
reckon he's got a duel and something else. So, obviously got to be a bit careful. So he's blocking with both. So
You're on 6 life, right?
I am on 6. That's correct.
So the Death Shadow is a 7/7.
Yes.
So Colligan's command here is pretty good. He goes shock your Death Shadow, return snap.
Yeah, that would be, or return Baleful Strix even. So, what do we got? Second Delver. Okay,
oh, he's done it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real good. That's real good. So,
he's happy about that.
I bet he is. K-Command, like, who would have thought that would be a card that's like legacy? Like,
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a good card.
It's interesting, isn't it? That and Death Shadow is actually another example of it. You know, cards that look good, but people just think are a bit cute.
Yeah.
And get seen play in Modern. It just takes a little while for them to get seen play in other formats like Legacy. You know.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's one of the best spells. Like, it's not too slow. Like, I think there's a common misconception that Legacy is very fast.
Yeah. No.
Legacy is very powerful.
Modern's faster.
I would agree. Modern's actually faster than Legacy, but people assume that it's not. But Legacy's more powerful. But K Command's perfectly good card.
Snap K Command. Yeah, no thanks.
Snap. Would you go Snap K Command or would you go? He got back Snap over the Strix. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Now he has the other land.
And you got no cards.
Shenanigans.
You got no cards in hand. No. I'd just do it now, right? I would go main phase Snap K Command.
Yeah, I don't know.
Return maybe Germs or Strix. Because he can't kill you.
Probably Strix, right? I don't know. Or
I feel like you're gonna race with Germag though, to be honest. Because you can deploy Strix.
Oh, or that's right. He wanted me to discard the card in upkeep, I reckon. No.
Who knows? I guess it doesn't make too much difference. No. If you got no cards in hand.
So you return Strix. Yeah. Okay, and
I don't mind return Germag there. Because you flip, swing 6, then he deploys Germag, you swing 3, and then Sarf's got lethal.
Yeah.
But I guess he can run the snap into Delver anyway, so maybe this is the conservative play. Especially if you draw another Death Shadow. Oh, there's already 2 gone, right?
Yeah, 2 gone, so...
I think it's fine. Sarf, it's a conservative play from Sarf.
JC Boys.
JC Boys pretty good.
Not great. That's pretty bad. So, yeah, it's just one of those matchups where I have a certain sort of expiry date, and if I don't win by a certain turn, like the Jaces and the Snaps and the Colgins,
I think you needed some Delver flips there. Even with a Delver flip, I don't think you get there, but
I would have been able to put a lot more pressure though.
Sarf's playing very conservative.
Yeah,
I think I would have brainstormed there. There's like literally no cards.
He's got the Strix as well.
Yeah, there's literally no cards that do 9 damage like that.
Yeah.
You know, that he can't unsummon.
So I get the Shadow now, which
because the unsummon, it did like you've got the mana to deploy the Delver anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Sar's looking at my life total and thinking that swinging for 4, you know. I think I just drove this snappy. So, all right. Waste. Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So game 2.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
I thought it might be pretty good there when you played when you had Shadow and you played Shadow and Delver.
Yeah.
Going to sideboards. Sarf's sideboard's slightly different to mine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what he's got off the top of my head. I said I don't need his deck list because I know what his deck list is because I play the exact same deck. But our sideboards are different.
Well, things like the Pyroblasts and whatnot are obviously
there's like
good.
4 Pyroblasts in the 75 in my list. I think he'd only have 3.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that Red Elemental Blast I think is actually better than Pyroblast a lot of the times. All Pyroblast really does for you is help trigger the 1 Flusterstorm you got in the sideboard.
Yeah.
But there's actually a lot of diverts coming around and even misdirections. And having Red Elemental Blast is like better. It's interesting, isn't it?
So, sideboarding with Blue-Black Shadow is interesting sometimes, especially in these sorts of matchups where I'm sort of hunting for those threats that, like, things like the Lily of the Last Hopes, even Bitter Blossom's quite good.
I think Bitter Blossom's really good, yeah.
Yeah, we had some funny games the day before where a bit embarrassing, but I did die to my own Bitter Blossom once or twice. But him to Turak's really good because I can just sort of gut him early and then just get an early.
So you're running.
Death Shadow.
So both decks are running Lily Last Hope.
Yeah,
I'd say both decks would be wanting them in. It's one of the powerhouses.
Yep.
Lily Last Hope in this deck has been absolutely phenomenal. It's not great versus combo, but in any fair matchup, it does exactly what you need to do. It kills little annoying Thalias, it kills Delvers, it gets you back your snaps to start doing that Colligan snap thing.
Yep. Gets back shadows sometimes.
The emblem is unbeatable against any fair deck, and it can't be pyroblasted. Good. It's really good, yeah.
Card. Or when people are sometimes running Liliana's Defeat in Legacy, you can tell that.
I've seen that.
Cards.
I did play against Liliana's Defeat.
Yeah, who would have thought?
It hits Gurmag as well. I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah, it's a good card.
I don't know if I'd run it. It's Sorcerer's Speed, unfortunately. But
it's just funny that would.
I think James Arthur was playing it. He killed my Gurmag. I was like, okay.
I had a fantastic game against him. Where he's playing Esper Stoneblade, and he ended up. I kind of baited a swords onto my Death Shadow to go back to 13 life, and then I just landed a Bitter Blossom, and I just got there.
The Bitter Blossom's sweet. I'm running Engineered Plague on my sideboard.
Ooh, yep.
And against decks like yours, naming Rogue.
Oh, yeah.
Because you actually hit Bitter Blossom, and then they just take a life every turn.
Rogue.
And you also hit True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
I played against Blackwood Reanimator, and they had Bitter Blossoms in the sideboard.
Yep.
For control, just as a second win.
So good. Sometimes it just lands, and it's just nothing. There's nothing they can do about it. It just sort of sits there, and it's heaps frustrating.
Well, in Grixis, there's not really anything that removes the Bitter Blossom. So.
No, nothing. So, yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think Sav's probably favoured. The Pyroblasts are just so good right now.
Yeah.
I think Sav's probably favoured post sideboard.
Yep.
There's just enough blue cards. Mind you, it does get awkward because all your threats are black. Yep. Lily, do you run Gurmag?
I run two, yeah.
Yeah, Lily, Gurmag, Street Wraith, Death Shadow.
Yep.
Besides Delver, is there even something to be said for siding out Delvers if you know your opponent's got 4? Sav's only got 3, but if you know your opponent's got 3 to 4 Pyroblasts coming in post board, there's something to be said for taking out Delvers and going, all my threats are black, you have to force will them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's an interesting logic. I don't know if it's correct, but beyond Delver, he can't actually, but there's enough Pyroblast tokens that it's good. So taking out him, a Colligan's 2, Jace, and Lily. I'm surprised about Lily. I would keep Lily in.
Okay. We'll have to ourselves.
Lily kills Delver. It doesn't do much against the other things.
Yep.
Although, to be honest, even going neg 2, neg 1 on a Gurmag, making it a 3, and then it can't kill Lily the next turn.
Yep.
And then you can uptick Lily and usually hit some kind of chump blocker in the form of Snap or Baleful Strix or Jace or something. You can deal with it the next turn. So I would probably keep my Lily in. And I also really like Jace because I think Jace Unsummon on Gurmag, Street Wraith, and even though you can deploy it pretty easily, Death Shadow, I don't mind.
Yeah.
The problem with Jace is the Street Wraith and the Death Shadow.
Yeah. I've won as you mentioned before, I've won quite a few games with people just forgetting about that Swamp Lord.
Yeah.
It's deceptive. It's actually Street Wraith is weirdly sort of gets around a lot of Legacy's removal. It can't be bolted, can't be pushed. Often comes down turn 1. If it comes down at all.
Often, yeah. Can't be Pyroblasted.
Can't be Pyroblasted, yeah. It's good.
No, it's a sweet card. So it looks like we've got a keep from Sarven.
That's a good keep.
Push Strix, Colligan's Force.
Yep, that's pretty good. So what have I got? Thoughtseize, Shadow.
And you get the Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom's going to do work, especially on the play. Thoughtseize as well to clear the way. I think I'd probably I don't know. I can't remember if I side out Force against you. I think card advantage is relevant in this matchup, but so is tempo. So you want force when you're tempoing, and you don't want it when Carnivage is important. I think I'd side out some amount of force rules against you though. You don't want 4, I don't think.
No.
Because like you're forcing sort of 1 mana spells, so you're not really getting that much tempo back.
Alright, so what do I take?
I take Strix.
Yeah, probably Strix.
Oh, but then you take Strix and then Colligans is really good. It's like,
but then like if I'm thinking Bitter Blossom plan, yeah, that's right. I'm thinking all in on the Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's quite conservative because you can take Strix.
Right.
You can take Strix there.
Yeah.
And switch off the Bitter Blossom. So Sarv has to rip blue.
Yeah.
To force the Bitter Blossom. And you also get rid of quite a good turn 2 play.
Good point. Yeah.
So I'd be inclined to take Strix and roll the dice on the Bitter Blossom.
Yeah.
Because worst case scenario, he has force. You've taken the best spell in your hand against you, and he can't force.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. That's a really good point.
Probably can't force. And if he does force, whatever, he's down 2 cards.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got EE. So, that's good right now, right?
So of note, he would have hit blue card.
Yep.
For the Bitter Blossom.
Yeah.
Because he would have. I think he would have pondered, and he would have kept Snap in hand just in case, and he would have deployed it. So there you go. He would have got the force off. Although then I don't know. Do you have days in hand?
I don't quite remember. I don't think so.
Because that's a pretty huge play.
Yeah.
Being able to go Bitter Blossom days back up.
Yep.
So he's keeping it. What was it? It was land EE Snap?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. EE is really interesting, isn't it?
It's good.
Definitely doesn't hit Killer Mag.
I have a lot of 1-drops.
Definitely hits Death Shadow.
You mean you wouldn't pay 8 colours to cast EE to get rid of the
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Just too expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit overpriced, I think. Yeah.
Okay, you can proliferate.
Proliferate. Proliferate. Have you seen that Throne of Geth tech against Chalice of the Void decks?
No, I don't know Throne of Geth.
You Throne of Geth, you proliferate their Chalice, so they counter all their 2-drops.
Oh, okay.
And you keep playing your 1-drops. Good stuff.
So Bitter Blossom resolves.
It does. I love Bitter Blossom.
Now Bitter Blossom's good. It's a game changer, you know. It turns like I'm going to lose the late game. But to be honest, what I really like about this Grixis deck is it does have. I've sided out the bolts, but it can go aggressive.
Yep. I
wouldn't say aggressive, but it can. It's a proactive deck. As I said, there's not that many counters.
Yeah.
And if you side out the Force of Wills, it's like all the cards are pretty proactive.
Yep.
You know, Him to Turak is a very proactive spell. You know, and you can actually play quite proactively against the Bitter Blossoms. You can chump and trade with 1/1s, and you know, Colligan's shock a 1/1, return the Strix, play a Strix, block another 1/1, draw another Snap. Like you can actually do some work against that, and I've beaten a lot of Bitter Blossoms, provided my hand's good.
Yeah.
So I don't think Sarv's out of it.
Pretty scary when a deck can just randomly outvalue Bitter Blossom. That's pretty good value.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, isn't it? But it can definitely do it. I think I still side. I'd rather be on your side of the table, but it's definitely possible. You know, you sort of get the tempo because they're paying life. You get the tempo out of like Fatal Push and stuff.
So I actually, you know what? Maybe I
I like the block there.
You like the block?
Yeah, I like the block.
All right.
What are you worried about? Colligans?
I can't remember. I remember being. I did it pretty fast, but
okay.
There we go. Yeah, so that's heaps unfortunate.
And he can play around days.
So I'll try to in response brainstorm because that's I think I was pretty much relying on that. Double days for days.
I think I'd probably double days if I had it.
Oh yeah. I can't quite remember what I did, so I think it looks like it's going to resolve, unfortunately.
Bummer.
Yep. All right, so shuffle away that chaff. More life loss. Maybe I have a shadow. Can't remember.
He still needs to. You still get a 1/1 out of this.
I do.
You're still up like cards.
Yeah, and I got rid of a Strix, which would have 2-for-1. So
sort of. There's always Colligans come in.
Yeah, true.
All right, so yeah, and to be honest, it's not just the time. It's another 2 mana, so that's going to make subs next turn worse.
True. Alright, what do we got?
Big Gurmag Angler. He's having a think. He's deep in the tank.
Yep.
I think you really want a Gurmag Angler here.
Gurmag.
Knowing that his hand's like Colligan's. Oh, Waste is actually really good here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And we've got a Ponder. Alright. Oh, just throwing cards everywhere.
I think I saw another Ponder in there.
Yep.
So you draw another Ponder.
Yep. Just gonna.
Oh, it's him. I like him.
Yep.
I think ideally you'd hit a...
Colligans and Fatal Push.
I was going to say ideally you hit a Gurmag there.
Yeah.
Like some kind of threat, but I'll take a him to Turag. There's a lot of hymns rolling around in Legacy now.
Good card.
It's in Esper, it's in Blue Black Death Shadow, it's in Grixis. There's 3 in the Grixis lists.
It's a lot of feel bad moments with the old hymn.
Ooh, that's some value.
Beautiful.
That's some value. Mind you, Sarv, he's still on the right plan. He can still deploy his EE.
Yep.
And sort of we're back to square one a little bit, but that's a shame. Losing the Colligans.
Alright, we have another land.
Yeah, he just blows it, doesn't want the 1-1. That's fair. Respect the 1-1.
Yep.
I've got respect for the 1-1s. Seriously, I mean, they block, snaps, they block Strixes.
Yep.
They chump block Kerms.
Yep.
They, kill them in 10 turns.
But also, have my life total, which is meant to be the downside, but kind of works for the upside of my deck.
Right.
So
That's right. It's good.
Alright, so, yeah, ideal top deck would be Germs, I think you're right.
Just knowing he's got
Lily
pushing hand,
last
right?
hope would be nice as well.
Yeah. I think I'd probably take a Lily over that.
What we got? Delver.
Not going to do it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be pushed off a cliff really fast.
So Sal's untapping these, playing around days.
Yeah, good plan. That's good. Let's take a land.
And note that if Sarv had Jace in hand, he couldn't deploy it anyway, because if he's worried about days, then he's not going to jam. So being mana efficient by Fatal pushing in a turn.
Yep.
Mind you, there's something to be said for if he did have Jace.
Yeah,
pushing
it into turn.
Yeah.
Getting the Jace. And then I'd just daze again. Imagine that.
Well, that. Or actually, to be honest, Delver can just pressure the Jace pretty easily. So he's sort of locked into unsummoning Delver anyway.
Yep.
So Jace isn't that good. Sarv sided out 2 Jaces, which now I'm starting to think is probably correct. It's not great against Delvers.
Alright, so we'll get this Delver flip right now. Yep, no. Yep, having a think.
And so the reason Sarv didn't push in his main phase is now he plays around days.
Yep.
And if you want to counter, etc.
Yep, he sees a card.
If you want to counter, etc., you've got to spend mana in your turn.
Yep.
It's
good. Perfect. That's the way you do it.
And he also
right?
wants to see if you're going to flip Delver.
Yeah.
So it's not worth pushing if it's just a 1-1, but it might be worth pushing if it's a 3-2.
Yep, you get information and you get to...
So I think that was... I like that.
Yeah.
Pushing in the upkeep.
Nice clean play.
I think you do want to push in the upkeep, not the main phase, though, because days in the main phase is quite good for you. Because you just days a land, replay the land.
Yeah, true. Yep.
If you do it in upkeep, they don't get the sort of mana advantage out of it. It's an interesting position, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely this is a critical few turns for me. I really need to put pressure on.
Ponder there is quite good, I think.
Yeah.
You've hit a lot more Ponder effects. I don't know how many cards you've got in hand, but I think you've actually got more than Sarv.
Yeah, the him put me up a little bit, and he used a lot of resources for... Oh, no, Baleful. Okay, so just 1 for 1 for the... That's good.
Yeah, get him off red, although he's got Bloodstained Mire there, right?
Yeah, but that puts him down 2 volts, so he would have maybe
he's got
2 more Badlands, I reckon?
He's got 2 more Badlands, correct, yeah. The deck runs 3 underground, 2 Volt, 2 Badland.
Yeah. We have Brainstorm.
Brainstorm's pretty good here.
Yes, perfect.
End of turn because he's got Fetch back up as well.
Yep.
Your deck doesn't run Stifle, does it?
No, I did toy around with like a 4 Wasteland 4 Stifle build, but I don't know, wasn't into it. I think it's that flex spot was reanimate, so
electing not to shuffle.
Yep.
So his hand must be quite good here.
Yeah, that's a bit scary.
What's he got? Lily? Jace? Could be Jace.
Yep.
The big boy.
The boy.
I think I like Brainstorm here. I think it's also
bounce.
I think it's fair to bounce as well. Get rid of the threat. The 1/1s are always going to be annoying.
Yeah. Bouncing is gone.
There are some efficient ways like Colligan's is a very efficient way of dealing with it.
True.
But it's always going to be annoying. I think he needs double blue there. Yeah.
Yeah, Jace is perfect. Perfect in this situation.
It's a shame you haven't hit threats even with all the ponders.
Yeah.
You really needed to hit like something.
It's a weird deck. Like it is quite threat light. Alright, so what do we got?
I think Brainstorm's probably correct, but I wouldn't begrudge it and unsummon. There's no bolt, so there's no reason to Fate Seal.
Yeah, either would be good. I think
it's pretty tough for you to.
Depends on what's in his hand as well. Yep, we're bouncing.
The reason you might want to bounce is if you Brainstorm here and then Jackson, you swing one at Jace and then you play like a Death Shadow.
Yep.
Then you're obliged to unsummon the Death Shadow.
Yep. Boom.
There you go.
2/2s
exactly.
though. But they're pretty.
And then the 1/1 would finish the Jace off. So that's why he's unsummoned.
Yep.
I think I prefer Brainstorm try to find an answer for the 1/1 in Snap or Strix or Colligans or something, and then unsummon the threatening Death Shadow.
Yep.
But they're 2/2s here, right?
Yeah.
You've got to fetch land up.
Yeah, so essentially 5/5.
There's no real good Colligans here for them.
We've got some sort of cantrip, most likely.
Also, Brainstorm is better. When you've got mana up.
Yep.
Isn't it interesting though that Sarven and I are both pretty accomplished at this deck, and I don't think Sarv's misplayed, but I'm just picking up on little
nuances,
little changes in things that I missed. Like little changes.
Yeah. Strix would be good.
We've got our off-camera intel section informing me that you didn't take 2 off Thoughtseize.
Oh.
And that you should be on 9 life.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I didn't actually see it myself.
Was that? Oh, it must have been early. Turn 1.
It was turn 1.
Oh, naughty.
There we
naughty.
Go. Mind you, as naughty as it is, I think you'd almost at that stage in the game would want to be losing.
Yeah. I'd almost.
I wonder who would.
I did.
Yeah.
I took a while to play those Death Shadows. So.
And keep in mind that you did shot purposefully with Watery Grave.
Yep.
With nothing to use the mana for, so perhaps you would have fetched for Underground instead. So he brainstormed there, right?
Yes. So that's blowout. Like that's real bad.
That's right. He needed to hit answers for both of those things.
Yeah. So.
And now you've got a lot. If you couldn't find threats before, and then you found 2, I think you're not going to have it. So that's probably Sarv running away with the game there. I reckon.
Yeah. I remember that pass turn, and I remember just being like, oh. So yeah, that's.
So of note, I think Sarv and I are little nuanced difference in plays where I would have brainstormed first.
Yep.
I think we would have been in the same position.
All right, so the scene's getting dark, like my chances in this game, I think. So there we go, brightened up a little bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pretty perfect. That's when you want to be finding a threat.
what you can do as a Death Shadow player is like just spook him a little bit and say, look, you attack me, man. My shadow's only going to get bigger. Like,
Yeah, but you gotta finish them off at some point, right?
yeah,
Plus Jason summon.
Yeah,
it's gonna get there.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not looking.
And
good.
now I think there's still two snaps left in Sarv's deck. So I think he's gonna find either Strixes or snaps or something.
I think my hand is not great.
I think it's probably bad. Otherwise, you would have done something. That's the only hymn. So I've started out hymns. I agree. I don't love hymns on the draw against you because you got cheap threats. And even if you hit good cards, that's pretty good actually.
In response, edict and then play the snap. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
That's I like that.
But even if he hits good cards, there's a good chance you've already got.
All right.
Wow, and killed the Jace. So we've got a game on our hands.
That's a game. All right, what do we got?
Ponder off the top. No. Okay,
Brainstorm.
Not as good. I thought that was going to be a Ponder, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Still, Brainstorm's quite good on, 5 mana. Hopefully you can find a Ponder or a fetch land, or just it's a good Brainstorm with threats.
Yeah. Lily last hope, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, Lily last hopes. You can see how Lily is so strong.
Yep.
Uptick, kill the snap, get back your own, and you just go off from there, right?
So good.
What do we got?
Alright.
What do we got? It's a snap. That's good. That'll do it.
Snap push.
I think that'll do it.
Seems good. Wow, that was
There's something to be said for snap way to turn and snap Colligans.
Oh yeah.
Take 2 life.
Discard a card in upkeep.
Yeah, or just
draw step. Sorry.
I think probably just return snap and shock, right?
Yeah, it's just like back and forth a bit. Yeah. So basically, I just need Sarven to not really draw much.
I think that was maybe a misplay from Sarv. I don't think he needed to push the snap there. The snap isn't an issue.
He should have snapped Colligans in the draw step. Then that would have discarded the Death Shadow.
No, because he needed another mana.
Did he?
Yeah, because he brainstormed, remember?
Oh, of course.
So wait a turn, snap Colligans, shock snap, return your own snap. Death Shadow comes down.
Yep.
Death Shadow swings you, but then you get to snap Edict or snap Dreadball, the other Death Shadow, and you've got more card advantage, and you've dealt with the Death Shadow.
It's a good draw. Would draw.
It's tough though. Like as a control player, you just want to manage your life total, be efficient, not get blown out by hymns and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think you get blown out because you can always snap Fatal Push in response to a hymns 2-rack or something.
Yeah.
So I think I would have waited on that.
Brainstorm.
So I've got four brainstorms in the bin there. 4 brainstorms and 3 ponders in the bin.
I've cast a few.
Just going through his deck. Yeah.
Okay. Blue and Legacy is just so like that though. Such consistency in Brainstorm, Ponder, even Preordained.
Well, it's like what I was saying. Like between 4 ponders, 4 brainstorm, 3 J's, you're just able to manipulate your hands so well. I've been playing mainboard Red Elemental Blast, and it's literally never been an issue. What did he reveal?
As a land.
Okay.
So he got me. Bait, yeah.
I guess.
Baited. That's alright.
Bit of a standoff here.
He probably wouldn't attack.
No, I don't think
unless he's got something.
I don't think you want to attack. I think you just want to wait and hope to draw something big. Oh! Maybe he's got a Gurmag or a...
Yeah. Gurmag wouldn't... Oh, no, Gurmag would be pretty solid.
But you can see how in Legacy as well, you don't need to be as efficient with your mana.
No.
Like, this is a lot of what a lot of new players mess up is that they think because it's so fast, you need to be that efficient with your mana. And, of course, in the early turns, you want to be efficient. But when we're talking about brainstorms, Sarv's really good at this. He holds off on the brainstorms.
He does.
You can see how powerful they are, turn 6, 7, 8, 9. They're a lot better, ponders especially as well.
Yeah.
A lot better later.
Yeah.
They're fine in the early game to help you, make sure you get your land drops. But really, you don't need to be playing them turn 1, 2 if your hand's already good.
Yeah.
I often even hold up a ponder. I won't even deploy it. You don't want to glut of them either though, because then if you've got all ponders, you don't have threats and answers. But they're much better later, and I think you don't need to be that efficient, and that's why you'd rather have power in a snap Colligans there.
Yeah. Well, the end of your turn is so much more a thing in other formats. Like in Legacy,
Absolutely.
you play a lot of end of turn brainstorms. So you're like,
it's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. In Modern, there's so much like, Helix, snap Helix or something, or like, snap opt, or I'm going to abrupticate this at the end of turn and untap and play this. I totally agree that sorcery speed is actually like...
It's fine.
Where
it's no biggie.
Well, I think it's because like a lot of the answers are in Force of Will, so it doesn't really. You don't need to be mana efficient when you're counterspells.
When he did this to me, I was a bit sad.
So Reduke initially had Bridge in his board.
Yeah.
I don't know if because this is from October. We're commentating now a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I think Reduke has since taken out the Bridge. But you can see how Bridge is quite good.
Yeah, Bridge...
It's also good in its show and tell.
Bridge right now, right? Yeah. I mean, that's absurd. Like, I honestly thought he was going to K-command me to death a few turns ago when I attacked, and I thought he was going to attack with Snap and Baleful and then, like, K-command me. But it didn't happen, so...
Well, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty precarious position for me to be in.
So Inquisition, so that... To be fair... Ensnaring Bridge isn't as... It is a game over here, I think. But he can have like 3 or 4 cards in hand. Death Shadow is a 4/4. And then you go swing. And then you go you fetch Shocks, Street Wraiths, and get your life total down. So there are ways that you can deal with it. But not here, I don't think.
Yeah, worth noting. So yeah, looking at my hand, all those cards... just
Dazes,
dead, right?
Yeah.
2 Dazes, 2 Wraiths. Like, what's my plan? Getting to... 5 lands. So
there it is.
That's it. Only have the Force. Yeah.
Very nice.
Interesting game. Very back and forth.
And you know what? It was really interesting for me to watch how Sarv pilots it because it is quite different to me. As I said, I think we're both. I've put a lot of work into piloting this deck.
Yeah.
And so has Sarv. And even at this level, we still have a lot of differences in sideboard options, in sideboard choices, in what we're bringing in, and in day-to-day gameplay. So really interesting for me watching that one. First time watching it. So anyway, we're Adelaide Eternal. Thanks for watching. We got our final round next round.
See you guys.